Hi, chat. How we doing today? I'm just scrubbing out this pan real quick here to get started. I have no idea what happened there. I have a feeling that Voicemeter Banana decided to crash and crash everything else. Because I came back and I think I have a backup for it. Not 100% sure. But regardless, I didn't use it. I just reprogrammed everything real quick. But it completely forgot everything. It forgot the names that I have from my different voice audio channels. All sorts of fun stuff. I'm also realizing that I haven't started recording in the back, so I am going to go handle that. I'm going to turn my recording on and back. turn the fan on back here while I'm here too. And grab my mug and my glass while I'm waiting. Okay. Hi, chat. Voicemeeter Banana is a very common streamer piece of software that allows you to have a lot more control over what's going on with your audio on your computer, but it's very complex to explain.
Chefia one wiggle.
I more or less had to teach myself by playing with it how it really works. JK, thank you for that resub. Greatly appreciate that. Hopefully you've had a great month. Hi, Froggy. Hi, Nan Raider. So I'm a little leery of doing shrimp and some other things. I could have done bay scallop. I could have done, obviously, shrimp. Could have done several different options. I instead opted for, I am going to do artificial crab and crawfish tail meat for my etouffee tonight, along with the typical etouffee veggies. I'm calling it etouffee because that's basically what I'm making. However, the term etouffee means to smother. It's typically served with rice or something else that you can smother the stew or dish with. And in this case, I'm actually going to be smothering the etouffee with mashed potatoes. I don't really know what to really call it for a couple of reasons. First off, I'm not Louisianan. I'm not part of the Creole culture. I don't know, like, details. Thank you for the follow. Arg, autofocus. I rebooted. Which means I have to reset autofocus on everything. Got tomatoes here. They're pretty tomatoes, but they're for tomorrow, not for tonight. Thank you for the follow. Hello, they can see me. I was just all over the place today, being the first of the month. Errands here and there, picking up this and that, and you know, I still didn't pick up those bags that I bought the other day out of my truck. They're still sitting on I hope they're still sitting on the seat. Hopefully everyone's had a lovely weekend, relaxing, enjoying their Sunday. Thank you for joining me, everyone, chat. Cheers. Okay, so where do we start with all of this? Onion. And potatoes. But onion first. I am chilling after running all over the place today. That's how I be doing. Not much of a core on that thing, huh? Aw. No, no bad days. Especially no bad Sundays. I won't permit it. This is another one of those songs that's in all those easy household tips. You won't believe number 6. Videos. Not just that reminded me of all the articles that were like that back in the day too, but that'll work, I guess. It was on top. It's a little big for what I needed for the onions, but it's the end of the sticker. Arrgh. I will tell you this, Buns. They don't seem to get any quicker or any slower. The older you get, they just go quicker and quicker. Now that I understand, the whole capacitive touch thing, just, I mean, the digital keyboards just don't do it for me either. It's not like I can type on them. I'm not anywhere as fast as I can be with a normal keyboard, but I can type on them fine. Even with their, like, hey, here's a guess at the spelled weird word up ahead constantly, I'm still faster with a physical keyboard. The thing is that keyboards is gonna get, like, we're already to the point where the average household would rather have several tablets and laptops than a PC and a smart TV. Are you saying you want to put your elders in jail? They can see me? There's also the extremist Japan thought on that, where some of the extremists in Japan, with their age issue and population issue, they're suggesting people over 85 just off themselves. Which is silliness. But yeah, I would greatly enjoy a elixir. Do not get old. Stop hurting. Forever young. I don't know the words to Forever Young, or I might have tried singing it. That it was. Turkey pot pie was delicious. I ended up actually tossing majority of the s'mores pie. It was good, but it was incredibly rich. And yeah. It was messy to eat. It was a fun experience. It was fun to make. But, like, the other versions of s'mores are better. Especially the original version. I prefer the veggie peels that are easy to peel off versus the ones that try to dissolve when you touch them. I feel like I just shaved that pepper with my fingernail. It certainly wasn't a traditional, like, turkey pot pie, though. Because, well, first off, it was a lot richer. Like, a lot more... Like, if you're going to be... I think of most turkey pot pies as mimicking 100% the post-Thanksgiving pre-cooked, lightly flavored turkey that's already got that roasted flavor to it. Versus what I did. And sauteing all the onions heavily and all that sort of stuff. Well, be that way then, piece of pepper. Hey, Cosmic. Things are great. Happy first of the month. However, it's been since I explained everything what I'm doing tonight. I'm doing sort of cottage pie tonight. Or shepherd's pie, as most Americans would more know it as. But instead of your typical stew, I'm going to make like a crawfish etouffee, which is typically smothering something else. But then I'm going to smother the etouffee with potatoes. Go slow. I don't care what they're paying you, they ain't going to cover these. Alright, so we got celery, green pepper, onion. Guess we can use that too. Yeah, I was trying to find recipes similar to my plans for tonight. But instead of either beef or lamb, I'm doing sort of like a seafood / crawfish etouffee. I got myself some Creole seasoning. I got myself a new bottle of Tony Cacciari's. Debating if I want to throw a jalapeno in this or not. Out here, I'm letting all the air out of the fridge. I've already let all the air out of the fridge. So do I. How you turn the ending of jalapeno into yes without making it sound disgusting? Well, if you're not in public, Buns, try and say that aloud. Do I go with that one? I think I should go with the big boy pot tonight. Hi, chat. How we doing? No, that one's done for too. Big pot. Ooh. Don't think the flame was lit before. I was smelling gas. Gas. I have several bigger ones than that, but they're usually taller. Give that a moment to warm up. That one's got a thick bottom too, like the cast irons too, but it's even thicker. That one's got a thick bottom. It's a big pot with a thick bottom. Salt. Gnocchi. It's been a gnocchi since I made gnocchi. I would say it highly depends upon freshness. Like, potentially, I would say if it's passable, it would have to have been refrigerated or frozen. I've seen it before, like, vacuum packaged. I just can't see that, like, dry vacuum pack. I just can't see that being good. But one of the major brands that does all the like fresh pastas that are refrigerated and the like bubble packs, like I think they do gnocchi and stuff like that too, and that's probably decent. I don't know, maybe they can use that technology they're using for the like microwave pre-cooked rice, but use it for gnocchi. They're doing all sorts of fun things with vacuum pack these days. And flash pasteurization. Actually, we're getting into like perfect gnocchi time, because you know you start to hang on to more of the starches and stuff like that this time of year, and I just probably the most used dish that I see that I enjoy gnocchi with is either the brown butter sage, maybe with some bacon, or butternut squash. in going our celery and green pepper. The culinary minds would be like, why are you bothering with the brown butter if you're going to do the bacon? Because the bacon's just going to overpower it all. Pushes up glasses that I used to have. Yeah, I don't need to cut them up that finely. But gnocchi flavors, I would think same flavors as I would think for pierogies. They're just different forms of cooked potato. I think the major thing with gnocchi is, I mean, you're doing a lot of work just to get that light, fluffy texture. And so it's a lot less, what you're putting it with, and more, allowing that to, that work to be seen and enjoyed. Much like fresh-made pastas in restaurants these days. Especially if they're making them, actually making them in-house. Yes, that's a good way of putting it, JK. It's technique forward. I'm not being very even with my cutting tonight on my potatoes. Oh wow, it's mashed potatoes. The bigger cutting, though, does mean that I'm going to end up with bigger pieces of skin in there. Cover these with some water and get them starting to cook. Garlic. It's pushing too hard on the wrong part of the knife. Yeah, scraping my skin up nicely too. So, new container. Still with the salt. Hit that with a bit of cayenne on top of that. Yeah, we'll skip that. We'll just leave it with those. Black pepper. butter. Butter smells nice. It's sort of interesting how butter seems to have different smells if it's cooked different ways. Like, you throw it in with veggies and stuff like that in a hot pan. Like, you just cook it in a pan and it seems to have a very muted smell. Whereas throwing it in here in the pan with the other veggies and the already nice hot pan and all that, and it's almost like smelling like buttered popcorn butter. You okay there, Scramble? There we go. Yeah, I did find crawfish. So I'm doing frozen tails, which is about all I expected to find. I mean, I'm not in the South, so I doubt there's many farms out here. But I have frozen tail meat, and oddly also, I went to my local, like, here in Sonoma we have a Walmart that's more like a supermarket than your traditional Walmart. It's like a neighborhood center or something like that. And so it's actually got some decent, like, hard to find products there. And one of them is they have not only frozen tail meat from Crawfish, but they had whole cooked frozen crawfish, which I'm still wondering, like, what are they going to be really using this for? We're gonna add some water here. If you got some fish stock, or maybe some straight veg stock, you can go ahead and add that here. I've made etouffee several times. It's not the first time buying frozen tail meat, which is not as good as, you know, the actual thing, but what products that are frozen are. Let's see what the scramble says it was. I'm also going to add some half and half here. I wish I was that good with the keyboard, Michael. I'm tempted to add a bit more spice now that we got all that there going on. I'm at least going to throw a bit more Tony's in there. Add in our jalapeno. Sort of debating what I want to put this in as far as for covering with the potato. I'm gonna go with half hotel pan. I'm debating between half hotel pan and your 9x13 traditional like casserole dish. I think we're gonna go with this. It's got a bit more depth to it. I'm using long names for this pan, by the way, chat. It's a half 600. Or no, it's a half 400. Hey, John. Welcome, John Array. Nice. Starting to thicken up a bit there. I'm planning on just dropping them in there sort of last thing. But here's hoping that they're defrosted. They were solid frozen when I bought them this morning. I don't think they're Yukons, they're gold potatoes. Same thing with the artificial crab meat. Most likely like pollock or some other very bland ocean whitefish. Mixed with a colored wheat paste to make it look like it's crab meat. Oh, you certainly can, head of broccoli. I don't really want to, both because, well, it's still sealed in a package, so I certainly could do that with water. Oftentimes, I'll just open up the package of shrimp to the water and directly hit the shrimp with water to defrost them. I wouldn't want to do that here with the crawfish meat because as they have in the label with fat and with, there's lots of other little odds and then goodies in there. It's not mostly whole animal like most shrimp. But I'm throwing it into a boiling pot of liquid, so I'm not too concerned if it's not 100% thawed, but it'd be nice if it wasn't a solid block. Let's test, chat. Let's see if I should bother. Oh, that's got a little flex to it. Ugh, dead joke. Ugh. That's interesting. Wonder if that has changed. Probably gonna have to check that. Oh, there it is. Since I'm logged in. Arg. I'm not streaming to. Or am I? Am I streaming to YouTube? Figure it out. I had a little network lag earlier in the stream. But it looks like I'm not live over on YouTube, even though it's trying to send it over there. So I'm gonna have to remember to send that over there. I'm RT? Aren't? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's how it shows to me. But it took me actually looking at YouTube's page to find out, because OBS is sitting here saying, connected for over an hour and a half. So I will transfer the VOD over to YouTube after the stream, but usually YouTube then has to process it, so it's going to be like late night or early morning before you can get a good version of it. Turn the heat off of the potatoes, just going to let them coast for a bit. See how well done we are here. We definitely need a bit more time there. Yeah. But while that's coasting, we need butter and cream for our taters. I'm just steamy. Got a pot of steam in front of me, a pot of steam behind me. Actually, I take that back. I have a pot of liquid boiling in front of me and a hot pot of liquid in front of me. I'm not quite sure where you can find a pot of steam. Or a steaming pot. Where's that fork I just used? Over here. I think this looks a lot thinner than it really is. I'm moving it around. It's almost like there's a thick layer on the bottom and a thin layer to the top. Get the potatoes a little more heat. Aren't quite there. Chat to any of you when you make your cottage pie or shepherd's pie. Do you put some egg in your potatoes? Do you keep them egg free? Do you maybe even brush them, give them an egg wash? I'm not breaking out the pastry bag tonight, but most times when I've made like a shepherd's pie, it's been, you get the star tip, so you get the roughly edges of the potato, and then you add a little egg yolk to the potato, so you get a little more yellowy color. It browns up a little bit easier. I'm not 100% about that, though. It seems to have turned out pretty good the times that I remember making it in kitchens, which is long ago. Every time that I've added egg, it's sort of resulted in a bit of a little, like, eggy skin to my mashed potato, which I'm not a fan of. Raiders. Hi, Raiders. Welcome, Raiders. What were we cooking, Becca, with flour? What were we making? Welcome in, everyone. I'm capping off a week of pies tonight with I've used a couple of different names for it. Cajun Bayou pie, Cajun pie, crawfish cottage pie. If anyone's out there is familiar with a cottage pie or a shepherd's pie, where you have a stew and you cover that with a delicious mashed potato over the top of it, sort of like your top crust. That's what I'm doing tonight, except I'm doing it with a dish called crawfish etouffee. Etouffee, we're smothering the etouffee instead of the etouffee smothering something else tonight. So welcome in, lovely folks. If you're not familiar, hello, I'm Jason. I cook here on stream 4 nights a week. Do all sorts of interesting foods and fun stuff. Thank you for the follow. So I've got some imitation crab flakes. Let's see what they tell me it is. Bream. Random whitefish. With red wheat paste to make it look like it's crab meat. And that is going to be going into our etouffee along with our actual crawfish tail meat. I'm gonna sit here and break some of this up. I just bought both of these this morning, so they're still a little almost frozen. Hi, Ratty Patty. Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday to everyone. Hopefully you've had a lovely weekend. Hobbit theme. Breakfast, second breakfast, lunch, and a snack. What's a Hobbit snack? Or are we calling hobbits a snack now? What milkshake brings all the hobbits to the yard? For filler meat, this is looking questionably like already enough here. I might have to reserve some of this. Not that I really have a plan for it. But I think that's a decent amount of crab meat to go with our crayfish tails. I don't know, I was asking chat. Ooh, we got another poker player in chat. I think our resident poker player is on vacation. Alright, so in we go with both of our meats here. Both our imitation crab meat. Turning the heat off on this at the moment. And our crawfish tail meat. Turn the heat back on here, but low. You can't tell that's fake crab, right? Right. It's like the Star Wars meme. You can't tell that's crab, right? Right? Flame off on that once again. I just wanted to make sure it got up to heat. And I'm going to finish that with some paprika over the top. Yeah, pollock is the traditional that I remember head of broccoli. But all of that world is rapidly changing with all sorts of farming in the sea world these days. It may be more cost effective for them to just farm it these days than separate it out from the rest of other catches. So we're going to pour all of that loveliness into this pan over here now. Actually, might be saying goodnight to that spoon for the evening. Let's grab a second. Jerry going over taters. Hey, Ozzy. We're obviously going to want salt. MSG and pepper in our taters. If I hadn't thrown all that salt in there already and thought about it, I maybe could have thrown some Tony's into the potatoes themselves. But I think the contrast in potatoes being sort of a more traditional standard potato with just cream and butter and less the heat will help it stand out from the stew too. Oh, that's horrible, Cosmic. That's always a pain because they usually have such small screws on them that, you know, you strip out the screw on your glasses and they're pretty much done for. Oh. Sorry for the pounding. Hi, Ty. Welcome, Will. I was just talking about you, Will. We had another poker fan in chat, and so you reminded me. Hopefully your travels went well, or are going well. So I am going to switch this over to broil now. I already started preheating the oven, but not at a broil. Let's see what it's like if I do this action here. Yeah, it's not going to change things much for the better or worse. Parmesan over the top, any other type of cheese you want to put over the top. Nice, ready? Let's see, do I got any dry cheese I can use for this? Not really. I'm planning all my cheese for tomorrow night anyways. Tomorrow is the cheesy night. Tonight we're being crabby, tomorrow is going to be cheesy. Speaking of that, we can go ahead. Is it these? Yes, it's these. Pulling out the legs and thighs out of the freezer that I butchered up like a week and a half ago. I would say poker is my favorite of the casino games. And I used to enjoy playing it online for fun money. But ever since real online betting has sort of become a thing, like most of the free online ones are junk. That or people have just gotten so serious about online playing poker. It could be that too. That the ones that everyone uses are just wow. I just don't feel like it's like I don't know if I could feel that any online poker game would be fair. I don't know if I would, short of it being like a tournament with people that I could verify are real people. And even then, I don't know if I really love the odds when it comes to online poker. I have relatives in the South that done crawfish boils with family in the past, done crab boils. I don't know if with family, but I've certainly done crab boils in the past. A giant steaming pot of small pieces of corn, potatoes, and seafood just pull apart. All of it just steaming heap in the middle of a giant table. And if there's someone that plans ahead, there's already easy to access trash in the area. They'll like barbecue places where it's easy to throw all the extra bones and everything else, but for shells instead. I'm having flashbacks now going to when I lived in San Pedro. I went to the wharf a couple of times. I went there with one of my college friends once, and we had like no clue how, like, and we were both culinary people, and we got there and we got crab when we were there, but it was crab cooked in the shell, like with the whole platter ready for you to eat, but they gave you nothing to crack the crab with. And so we were both sort of putting pieces of crab inside of a plastic bag and crushing it with our feet. Reminding me of paprika on top of here. Look pretty. Like, I had ways, like, I lived right there in town, but because we were sort of out at the wharf and wanting to eat there, like, we had, you know, like, the whole lunch tray of stuff going on. We didn't want to take that back to my place to properly crack everything. It's one of those comedy of errors things. Alright, let's throw this under the broiler and see if we can't get a little color on here besides this paprika. Shouldn't take too long under there. Like I said, I'm got the broiler, so top heat. So I'm all jazzed up about disc golf today, and like I'm half tempted to go ahead and get myself a set of beginner discs and go try playing out a couple of rounds at the local golf course. Like, I should. Is it sort of like Frank's there, Cosmic? I have never actually thrown disc golf. I have walked disc golf with someone playing disc golf before, though. But that was years ago. And a private, sort of wonky course. But there are all sorts of courses here in Sonoma. I was looking at it earlier. There's apparently all sorts of people here in the county that do it, so that hopefully it's awesome. I'm gonna have, like, I'm just talking myself more into doing this as I sit here and talk about this. It just sort of needs to happen, I think. Let's see. Can I get you to follow me? There we go, camera. My stand mixer, it's an old school KitchenAid stand mixer. It's not strong enough for most dough work, but it's great for making some whipped cream if you want. That would require an IRL setup, which I do not have, Ozzy. Just like that's not going to happen at TwitchCon either. Over here, Cam. Over here. Over here. But yeah, old school KitchenAid. With the glass bowl. I don't know exact, but 50s, 60s. Maybe 70s. Like, you go out there and look for KitchenAid appliance attachments, and they advertise our attachments work on all KitchenAids. Not this one. This is a C2, or it's actually a Frankenstein. It's two different old school KitchenAids that have been merged together. I bought it in an antique store for $20. If I remember, Mixmaster is one of those handheld ones, isn't it? Trying to get some color on those taters, and I'm getting a little color around the edges. Let's see what. It's an eBay listing. Yeah, the 3C, which part of this at least is a 3C KitchenAid mixer, was 50s and 60s. This one had a planetary gear that apparently is next to impossible to find if it goes bad in. The modern ones, they just strip out their gears and become incredibly loud really quick. Like, you can sort of tell the age of a KitchenAid by how loud it is. Chat not making me drink any water tonight. '50s, '60s, I would assume they're metal. Not necessarily steel. Modern day, most certainly plastic. Got my thumb pretty good there. In either case, I would think these days you could probably find them 3D printed, but I guess for a long time you really could not find a replacement for the ones that are in this thing. So they just got tossed. Or sent back to KitchenAid, because KitchenAid, like, repairs most everything. And 1950s project, I guess that may have been like setting those standards you're talking about. Got a nice little bit of color on that. Could have gone longer, but we're starting to get some nice coloring going there. I always like, could I have gone a little longer with that? You know, could have made it a little browner. What's going on in your camera? You still trying to focus, even though I turned you off? What's your issue here, camera? Nope, you're saying you're off. Okay. Let's see if I do a coffee zoom if that's too close. Hot pot. Are you like dipping things in, boiling them at your table? This needs a little green onion or parsley or something on top of it. Taking photos. Give me a moment. Thank you, Ty. Yep, that's yummy. That's seafoody, but it's yummy. But I think that wraps things up for tonight. Feels like it was a shorter night tonight. It wasn't, though. I mean, it wasn't too bad. Gonna be back here tomorrow night. Gonna be doing roast chicken quesadillas. Gonna be making my own queso, or gonna be making my own pico. Gonna be roasting the chicken. Gonna be making my own tortillas. Gotta grate all the cheese. Got some sour cream in the fridge. Thank you for the follow. And I hope you all come back to join me here tomorrow. We got the ingredient challenge for Wednesday, which will decide the answer of tomorrow. I hope you had an amazing weekend, and I wish you a great start to your week. Have a great night, everyone. Good night.